So, did you ever want to pursue a solo career?
I did, but that didn't come into play until after TLC.
Let's take them back because how did Second Nature start? Because people get confused and don't know that y'all were not called TLC at first. It was Second Nature.
Right. Second Nature actually, at the time I had a manager, his name was N. Burke, and I had wanted to put a girls group together. And so we were just kind of going through different ideas, different girls, different concepts. And one night, he and I both were on the phone, and we just kind of came up with the idea of a female belle bib devote, BBD. And one would be a rapper, one would be a singer, and one would be a dancer. So we all had our individual responsibilities, or in the group. So that's kind of where the concept came from, and we just kind of sought out to find the members to become a rapper, dancer, singer, or whatever. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And
Hmm.
we ended up going to, I don't want to jump ahead of the interview, but we ended up going to an audition that was held at a lady's house by the name of Sydney Darden. She was an A&R for, I think it was Polygram Records at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And Rico Wade from Organized Noise Productions was the one who kind of told us about the audition. So we went to the audition, and that's where I met Lisa.
Uh,
And the same night, we went to Tion's house because she was going to come to the audition, but she was at home watching her brother Coco because I believe he was sick at the time.
mm,
But we went over to her home, met her, and kind of told her what we were doing and, what we had going on. I liked her look.
mm.
And we asked her to sing a little bit. And although her voice was raspy and, it was raspy, she had a great look. And met her, and that's how she kind of got involved in what we were doing as well.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this, and this
Mm-hmm.
is one of the questions that are coming in from some of the fans on Real Talk TLC. Um,
Okay.
do you still own any material from Second Nature, and if so, would you ever release it?
No, I don't. The only song that we have is called I Got It Going On, and that song was produced by Jermaine Dupri, so he actually owns the song. He's the one that has the rights and the master to the song. So if he wanted to release it, that would be on him.
Okay.
Well, were you and Tiana and Lisa actually friends, or was it just doing music? Y'all been put together and you just business partners?
When we met, when you start out as a group, you wanted to be business, you wanted to be professional, so that's kind of where we came in at. However, the friendship came later, but it was short-lived because we weren't together very long,
Yeah.
but we were together long enough to get to know each other and to kind of learn each other's families and habits and whatnot. But we weren't. I would say we were together less than 8 months. Everything happened for us very quickly.
And it's interesting that you say that because it kind of puts a bit of a different spin on things because, as we know, everybody wants to pursue their dream in music. And,
Hmm.
for 20 years, everybody has probably thought, well, at least I know for myself, well, we know business takes precedent over anything and, friendship and business does not mix. So, you would think, okay, well, if these girls were truly, truly friends, you would think, okay, it would have been a little more, I guess, they would have been a little more remorseful about it. Not saying that they would not take the deal because you guys are friends, but somehow, some
Hmm.
way kind of, you know, talk you into it
More
maybe,
loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess that's the word. Um, and what, now, because I know we pretty much, jumping ahead a little bit, but we know certain things happen, so after you guys got the deal, and I don't really want to go into it because we're going to save some of this till next week, but was there any type of loyalty after the fact in terms of were they reaching out to you to call you? Did you guys
Never.
continue somewhat of a relationship after that?
Nope.
Hmm.
Never heard from him again.
Wow.
So you
Wow.
never like saw
Wow.
them out and about or
I'm going to be honest with you. I would see them from time to time, like in the streets, like, because after the whole thing went down the way that it did, I'm still an artist. I'm still trying to pursue my dreams. So I'm still out there auditioning, trying to do what I can do to get back, back to what I love. And there was a time that I went to this audition, and I did not know who we were auditioning for. I just knew they were looking for dancers and singers and whatnot for this big video that they were about to do. So I went to this audition with some friends of mine. I'm standing in line to be auditioned like everyone else is, and as we get ready to go into this big room, there's like this big hoopla, this big, commotion going on because people were coming down the hallways, and all of a sudden I see Lisa and Tion. And I'm just like, And so they kind of pulled me out of line and brought me in the room, and they were asking me, were you planning on auditioning? And I told them, no, I was just here, as support for a friend. And they were like, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I'm sure. And I left out the audition, left out the building, went to my car, and I literally cried.
Wow.
Wow.
So you didn't want to audition?
Those were the auditions that were
them?
them? Was it for them?
I'm sorry?
This was the auditions that when Chili supposed to have been kicked out of the group. Those were those auditions?
No, this was actually for their, video. I want to say either Ain't Too Proud to Beg video. I think that's what it was. It was for their Ain't Too Proud to Beg video. They were auditioning people for backup dancers and whatnot. And I didn't know at the time where I was going or what I was auditioning for. I just knew I wanted to be in something. And when I found out what it was, I was just like, wow.
Now, did you not want to take the opportunity just because it was something that you pretty much brought to the table? Or was it more of a situation where you just kind of felt like it was a pride thing? Was it your pride that said, no, I'm not going to do it?
Both, because it's like it was both, because I don't want to say it was so much pride, but it was so much the fact that this is my dream, this is what I want to do. But I had no idea where I was going at the moment. I didn't know I was going to audition for their video. Had I known that prior, I would have never shown up. But, it's hurtful. Back then, we're 18, 19, 20-year-old women. It was very hurtful.
So, Crystal, this question just came in from a fan. Do you think that if you would have told them, yes, I am auditioning, do you think that they would have allowed or let you be in the video? What I'm trying to say is, like, based on what you know now, if you can go back in time, if they asked you to be in their video, would you say yes?
I didn't want to. Even if they had asked me to, I didn't want to. Once I found out where I was before, I didn't want to because I was already still hurt.
Yeah.
Wow. Already we've gotten some exclusives that people probably have never even known before, so that was really, really good. Another question is, I don't know if it's a rumor, but I've kind of heard that you and Rosanda, which is Chili, by the way, went to school together. Did you guys ever interact or ever talk?
We did go to school together. We weren't, I won't say that we were close friends, but we ran in the same clique, in the same circle. So we would see each other passing at parties, football games, and social functions like that you would have when you're in high school and whatnot. So I would see her from time to time, but we weren't buddy-buddy. I didn't have her phone number or anything, but, we spoke when we did see each other.
Oh.
Did you know that she was like an inspiring artist at the time, or you didn't really know that much?
I didn't know. I didn't know that Rosanda was in the industry until I was told that she was a backup dancer for Damian Dame. And, Damian Dame also was another artist that Pebbles was managing at the time, or was on her label at the time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let me say this, Crystal, while we're trying to get a caller on the air. I've always admired the fact that, and this is just coming from my own personal view, that I've heard you do interviews recently, and you never sounded bitter. You never sounded angry. I think, again, it is you definitely have the right to tell your story, and, we truly appreciate that. But I love the fact that you've never bashed T-Boz and Chili or Lisa. And
No, I honestly don't have a reason to right now. I'm just going to say you have to understand that now I'm 44 years old. That stuff happened 23 years ago. Back then, if you would have asked me that question then, I could tell you all kinds of stuff out of hurt and anger and all kinds of emotions I was going through. But I've forgiven them. I've gotten over all of that. I've moved past it. I'm, living my own life. I'm a mom. I work. I'm trying to write. I work. I'm raising my kids. So that life, all of that is so far in my past. I've gotten over it. So I don't have any hurt feelings. I can't carry around that for 20-something years.
And that says a lot about you because, as a human being, a lot of us will be like angry, I can't stand them or A, B, C, and D. But I've always admired the fact that you have never bashed them, and you have so many fans who don't know about you, who want to know about you, and a lot of fans kind of feel like, oh, well, why is she speaking or A, B, C, and D? And it's like at the end of the day, everybody has a right to tell their side of the story.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that totally.
And we appreciate you for calling and speaking up, and we are so looking forward for part 2 of the interview where we could get to know you as the viewers. Everyone would know who Crystal Selene is outside of TLC and what are you doing and pursuing, and we're very anxious about that.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. So I'm excited about that, too.
Exactly. Your voice needs to be heard. And you have any last things you want to say? Any thoughts before we get into current news in Nigeria?
Well, I do want to say I do appreciate you guys for having me on and just giving me the chance just to kind of speak my mind on the whole TLC thing, as well as, giving you some insight on my book, The Awakening of a Shattered Dream. As I tell so many people, I am a mental health advocate, and I just strongly, strongly stand behind mental health and people really getting themselves checked out, no matter what it is that you're dealing with. You just got to get some help if you're depressed or whatever it is that you're dealing with. So I do appreciate you guys giving me the airtime to expound on that a little bit.
No problem.
So we got some announcements by our very own Flash Scotty. So we're going to let him take over right now.
Y'all. Now, if y'all thought part 1 was good, y'all ain't heard shit. Part 2 interview is next Sunday, December 15th. We'll cover Pebbles, The Contract, The Split, Life at the TLC, Mental Health, Crystal's upcoming book, The Awakening of a Shattered Dream, Crazy Sexy Cool, the movie, her relationship with Lisa before she passed, and what's next for Crystal. Oh, yeah, y'all thought we forgot. We will find out who spilled the beans and dropped that, leaked that Crazy Sexy Cool movie to Crystal. Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of
that. Y'all don't want to talk about that now. We can talk about that now.
It's going on.
We got 6 minutes. Yes, we can. Hold up. We have time. We have 6 minutes. Let's take advantage of those.
Yes, we can.
Spill the beans, because this is Real Talk Radio. We don't filter anything.
This is what I want to do. I am not going to sit up here and do nothing that's going to cause me a lawsuit. That's the first thing. And I will go back and quote TLC's song, What About Your Friends? You need to watch who you claim your friends are. The same people that Dion and Chili and everybody talk to every day are the same people that sent me that link with the password.
Wow.
And I made a promise to that person. I said, I'm not going to tell you who. I'll just say where it came from. And it came from one of the administrators of the TLC Army. They sent me the link. They sent it to me on a Saturday. I have all the email conversations when they were begging me not to say anything. And I told them that I would not. I'm not giving out any names. But that's where
you run with Neon?
Run with Neon?
Well, Crystal, let me just be.
I'm not saying nothing. I
let me just be honest, Crystal. I'm going to give out my source, and the person who leaked the movie to you was named Leon, Leon of the TLC Army. So, again, it is great. What About Your Friends is definitely a song that they need to really understand, because the same people that advocate for them are the same ones who are leaking certain information and doing most of the bashing behind closed doors.
Exactly.
And
they go absolutely hard for TLC. They go hard for TLC.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say nothing against TNC.
Yeah, and you really have to be careful. You know, you really have to be careful with social media and all of those things. These people really are not your friends. They're people.
Exactly.
Sometimes they have, ulterior motives. You know, so you really have to be careful. But I can promise you this: I will never do anything to hurt Tion's credibility, Rozonda's, nobody. That's not who I am. I would never do anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And we are happy that you have not bashed them or anything still to this day. So.
And it's crazy because I always say to myself, if Tion and Chili wanted you to have that movie, they would have sent it to you. So for somebody to take that in their own hands, to send you that, to give you, quote-unquote, a heads up, and this is supposed to be somebody who runs the official Totally T-Boss page, is sending you leaks of the movie with the password, where is that loyal at? Because that is not loyalty.
It had to be somebody. So.
And I'm gonna say this too. You know, even though they may have had good intentions behind it, it helped me in a way to prepare myself emotionally before everybody else. So then that way I wouldn't be bombarded and surprised and caught off guard with questions and this, that, and the other. Because when I did see it that Saturday morning, I cried. It took me by surprise. I was so hurt, so disappointed that they would, portray me the way that they did. And I didn't watch the rest of it. I just watched the first 18 minutes of it, and I was done.